Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hi everyone. Yeah, a warm welcome to Flavor of Korea online gatherings. I'm Anna, the marketing associate of K-FoodPioneer, and it's my pleasure to have everyone here with me today. Let's explore our topic for today: how to start K-food business, opportunity and challenges. And I'm very excited to introduce our panelists, Mr. Petrus Gandamada, the CEO of BARECA Media. Hi, and Mr. Dieter Spear, F&B consultant, founder of Mr. and Mrs. Cake. And our moderator of today, Ms. Joanne Lee, the CEO and founder of K-Food Pioneer. Mr. Petrus has got over 29 years of F&B experience in Indonesia, starting from 1994. He runs his own magazine, podcast, training center. He is an examiner of culinary competitions and many more. A warm welcome. Thank you. And Mr.
Hi,
Dieter,
thank you, Anne.
Mr. Dieter has got over 30 years of experience in the F&B business across Asia, focusing on South Asia for the last decade. He provides F&B consulting, including recipe development, run his own magazine, even have his own chocolate fair, and there's many more. So a warm welcome to Mr. Dieter.
Thank you.
Yep, so here's our agenda for today. From 2 to 2:30, we would have an exciting panel discussion. From 2:30 to 2:40, we would have Q&A sessions. A few housekeeping rules before we start. Please raise your hand or post your question in the chat box during our sessions. Feel free to turn on your microphone to ask questions in the Q&A session. We would love to hear from you. And at the bottom bar of your screen, turn on the caption feature and choose your preferred language. Now, without further ado, over to you, Joanne. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. And I'd like to also extend my warm welcome to our panelists, as well as all the participants today. And please stay tuned till the end. This is not just a webinar, but also this is online gathering. So please stay and also let's get together, meet up before we end the session today. And let's have a just quick few minutes to introduce ourselves if time permitting. And my name is Joanne. I am a moderator of today's session, and I am a founder and the CEO of K-FoodPioneer in Korea. All right, so we have, as Anna mentioned earlier, we have a two expert in F&B scene in not just Indonesia, actually beyond that, the Asia scene and the global landscape. So I have prepared quite a few questions to enlighten all of us about F&B industry in Indonesia, as well as we will check together whether there are ample opportunities for us to take advantage of together. And first question, and again, if you have any questions, please feel free to post it on the chat group or raise your hand while I'm leading the asking questions with the honored panelists. Okay, Mr. Petrus from BARECA Media, and maybe can you enlighten us about the latest F&B industry in Indonesia and Indonesian food market overview for the audience today? Petrus?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Anne and Joan, for having me for this webinar. It's really a good opportunity for me also to inform for the audience who are not familiar with Indonesian market. Actually, one of my opening for this one is it's really huge and really promising market that anyone that who are in the food business, F&B business, really want to enter. So now, if you come to Jakarta and big cities in Indonesia, you can see a lot of international brands existed in Indonesia, and they are already, enthusiasts to open their stores in many cities in Indonesia. But I think I want to share the situation of Indonesian population and age segmentation, so everyone can understand about Indonesian market better. Okay. Okay. We start with the situation of Indonesian population. Yeah. We can see that Indonesian population, based on the data of 2020, is 270 million people, 271.35 million people. But it's spread in many islands. We have actually in our country, we have 13,000 islands. But the most populated island is Java. If we see, Java is the occupied by 151 million people. So it's more than half of the population lives in Java Island. So Java, if you can conquer Java for your business, then you already conquer more than 50% of your market in Indonesia. And then the number two island that is populated, most populated is Sumatra. I believe many of you know Sumatra very well. And Sumatra is very close also to Singapore and Malaysia. Is occupied by 56 million people. And I think it's one of the advanced island in Indonesia after Java. There you can see also the toll road started from the southern part of Sumatra, goes to the northern part of Sumatra. And it's already still under construction for the expansion of the toll road alongside of the Sumatra Island. And Sumatra is one of the popular place for planting the coffee. So if you hear Indonesian coffee, one of the best is also from Sumatra, and the other one is from Sulawesi Island, and of course from Java Island. And the number three island is populated is Sulawesi Island. Sulawesi Island is part of it, eastern part of Indonesia that is quite advanced nowadays with also the toll road and the infrastructure, and it's on the northern part is near to Philippines. And the number four island is Kalimantan or Borneo. Some people know as Borneo. But in Kalimantan, not only the island of Indonesia, but in that island, there is another country also, Brunei and some part of Malaysia, also in Kalimantan Island. But Indonesia has a lot of business in Kalimantan and Sulawesi. In Sulawesi nowadays, we are building the battery for the battery for the vehicle car. You know that at this moment, the vehicle with electricity motor is booming. And nowadays we can see that in Sulawesi Island there is a factory for manufacturing the battery for the car. And in Kalimantan, they are very famous for the coal mining and also the forests. So that island is very rich with the natural resources. And the other one is Bali. I believe that you know Bali very well, because for many people, Bali is more popular than Indonesia itself. And then the last one is the eastern part of Indonesia, which is Maluku and Papua. Papua nowadays is also very busy with the gold mining and some mineral resources mining there. And it's one of the largest island also in Indonesia. So based on that situation, we can see that even though that island is not so populated or occupied by a lot of people, by a large number of people, but the business in that area is very huge, because there are a lot of expatriates. Let's say in Kalimantan, there are a lot of expatriates lives there, and that expatriates really need the supply of the good foods, the high quality product, even the Western style of product, because many of them are coming from the European and United States, lives in that island for the mining industry. And also nowadays in Sulawesi, there are a lot of Chinese expatriates. Now they want to be fit with the noodles, with the pao, steam bun from China, because thousands of Chinese expatriates lives there now. I think that's the situation of the population. Now is about the age segmentation. We have to admit that Indonesia is very lucky nowadays, because the largest number or the largest proportion of our population is occupied by the young people. We can see that let's say the post Gen Z, which is who are the one that born in 2013 and now, is 29.4 million people. And then the other from that is the Gen Z, which is about 75.6 million people, is the largest proportion in our country. The Gen Z is the one that born in 1997 until 2010. And then other than that is millennial, which is the 70 million people, and it's the percentage is 25, or a quarter of our Indonesian people. So if we combine that millennial, Gen Z, and post Gen Z, is something like about 70% of Indonesian people is in that segmentation, is the young guys, meaning that they are very, appetite for eating the good food, eating the new food, eating something new, what they see and hear from the gadget, from their everyday, let's say what they see from the Netflix, from the YouTube, from the Instagram, is the people that really have the big appetite for that kind of foods. And I believe that with the massive of Korean drama at this moment, Korean music band and everything, which brings also the Korean food influence for Indonesian people, this 70% of the population is really determined where is the Korean food want to get advantage of this situation or not. Okay, and the last, of course, the three segmentation is the one that already more than 50, the age is more than 50 years above. So even though we have the Gen X born in 1965 to 1980 is about 21% of our population, and the baby boomer 31%, or sorry, 11.5%, or 31 million, and still our grandpa or grandma is about 5 million people, or 1.87%. I think 5 million people is even considered one of the largest population also. Some countries maybe don't have the population more than 5 million, but Indonesia have the segmentation of the pre-boomer about 5 million people. So we have to understand about this segmentation. Then we can identify what kind of food, what kind of style of approach that we can convince them to start eating with that kind of culinary products, either food or beverage. Yeah. And I believe that nowadays, even though it's labeled with the Korean or Taiwanese or Japanese, but many of the products are made in Indonesia, or even have the idea generated by the Indonesian people, not from the overseas. There is a big restaurant chain named Hoka Hoka Bento, serving the Japanese style food, but it's really 100% owned by Indonesian, and it's already established more than 25 years ago in Indonesia, and now it's still growing very fast. Okay, it's just for the example. And nowadays, the sushi restaurant, ramen restaurant, for example, for the Japanese one, and now Korean style restaurant is growing. But there are still a lot of room for Korean product or Korean culinary to grow in Indonesia market. The last one is about the Indonesian economic growth. It's very promising. It's very one of the sexy market for Indonesian for some business people, because we have in the third quarter we have 4.95% economic growth. It's one of the largest among the Asian countries. And then the predicted of the 2023 will be about 4.5 to 5.3%. I believe if there is no something like because only 2 weeks ahead we closed the 2023, I believe that 5.3% is achievable for Indonesian, and it's supported by the domestic consumption, which is now is also quite good, and also the investment from the government and also from the overseas. Of course, nowadays we have the situation for presidential election in February. some people think that it's not so good, but some people think it's a really a big chance for them because they believe that the money is spread all over the people, for getting the support from the people to vote someone. So usually the money is working there, and now there are monies for people to spend based on the situation. Household consumption grow also 5% is also very good because the condition of the people now, mobile. If you see the malls, not like Korean, the famous area is the street area, like in Myeongdong. But Indonesia, we are famous with the malls area. There are a lot of malls in Jakarta, in Surabaya, in Bandung, yeah, and even in the second tier of the city, there are a lot of malls. So people usually spend their time for shopping and eating in the malls, not in the street. So the people now mobility to the malls is quite high, and then also they are going to the some tourism area like to Bali, to Medan. There is a Lake Toba there, yeah, and also even the far away places like Raja Ampat in Papua, yeah, and then in Lombok they also go visit the Labuan Bajo area. The tourist activity also very high now, and the consumer confidence is also good. So with the good consumer confidence, they want to spend. They want to spend money. Usually, the number one of the spending in the list is F&B or culinary, and we also see that the government tried to do their best to create job creation, to bring the people job creation because they want to get the support from the people when the election day coming. I think that's the situation of the Indonesian market. So if you ask me, what is the situation of Indonesian business nowadays? Is the young people really determine the situation, right? Because it's 70% of our market. So if we know the young people what they want, how much they want to spend, and what kind of information that will influence their mind to choose the product they want to consume, it's the one that should be considered by all the F&B industry businessmen. I think that's all from my opinion, Joan.
Okay, thank you, Petrus. Yeah, I think
My
it
pleasure.
is. Yeah, it is quite obvious that Indonesia is the largest market in Southeast Asia. Not just Southeast Asia, also I think the first largest country in the world in terms of population. And it is quite surprising and also great to know that the population makeup of young generation, Gen Z, millennial account for almost 70%. I belong to Gen X.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the market is growing, has great potential. So everybody wants to tap into the market. And as a pioneer of the F&B industry, the question goes to Dieter. And you have been successfully launching and introducing global food brands such as Subway and the Starbucks. But I believe that hasn't been always easy when you started to bring them over to Indonesia. So Dieter, what kind of challenges did you have faced? And is there anything you'd like to share with the audience who wants to start the Korean food business in Indonesia?
Okay, we talk about Indonesia. And before I share a little bit more about the F&B industry, let me just share with you some cornerstones of economic my statements are based on. Yeah, so for those from within Indonesia who are listening to us, what we should know that already in year 1984, under then governor of Jakarta, Pa Suprapto, and then governor of Seoul, Yoon Bo-yoon, they had made an agreement to become a sister city. Yeah, sharing tourism, sharing trade, sharing some economics. Yeah, so that was already where South Korean influence started in Jakarta. So also very interesting that in 2017, South Korea and Indonesia have joined a vision statement for co-prosperity and peace. Indonesia is the only Southeast Asian country to have this kind of special status with South Korea. Now again, look at the impact South Korea is having more and more into Indonesia. In addition, in 2022, the South Korean company POSCO agreed to invest 6.7 billion US dollar for the Indonesian new capital, Nusantara. In addition to that, more than 102 MOUs have been signed by South Korean companies for the new city, Nusantara of Indonesia.
Wow, that's impressive.
Oh, that's the beginning. In 2022, South Korea is the 7th largest investor in Indonesia. Total 2.29 billion US dollar, a 40% increase from the previous year. Total trade, and my data is only by 2017. I haven't found any earlier data since. Between Indonesia and South Korea was 18.57 billion US dollar. So here we can see already, based on this number, the influence, the cooperation, the trade between South Korea and Indonesia. Now, looking at tourism, more staggering numbers. 358,000 tourists from South Korea is visiting in year 2018 Indonesia, while 175,000 Indonesians in the same year have visited South Korea. This year only, 40,000 Indonesian students are in South Korea to study in their university. Now, of course, just by looking at this kind of people movement, when the 40,000 students are coming back, of course, with them, they bring culinary experience. With them, they say, oh, while I was in South Korea, I love to eat this, I love to eat that, so forth. Same thing is with the 175,000 Indonesians who go there. And this is every year, not just once. So, oh yeah, and then as of 2017, South Korean living permanently in Indonesia are 78,600 people. Yeah, so in addition, from Statistica Indonesia, from year 2019, they made a survey about the popularity of South Korean cuisine in Indonesia. From people asked, 59.8% responded very popular. 26.8% responded quite popular. 11.6% popular to some enthusiasts. Enthusiast means maybe they're very fond of kimchi, maybe some other dishes. Yeah, and only 1.8% responded, not really. Very interesting.
Yes.
In year 2019, oh, John, fasten your seatbelt. In year 2019, Indonesia was ranked the 3rd on the list of countries that tweeted the most about K-pop artists. The 3rd, just to say how influential Indonesian pop music, drama, TV is in Indonesia. So we have here in Indonesia a very fertile ground for Indonesia, for South Korean cuisine. Now, in year 2023, there are 2,537 South Korean restaurants listed in Indonesia. Now, when I made some research, it seems that all these 2,537 restaurants are owned by Koreans. I haven't found yet a Korean restaurant or cafe owned by an Indonesian, but more to that in a little moment. So then I shared in year 2022, McDonald's, they offered a BTS meal. I think all Indonesians agreed, and that was only the packaging, nothing about Korean food. There were hundreds of meters lined up It went viral on social media. People were fighting over this packaging. Yeah, here, BTS, just crazy. So when we go to the supermarkets, more and more middle to upper-class supermarkets have specific aisles only offering Korean food, Korean snacks, Korean spices, Korean ingredients, middle to up. So, and that is where we come in. The grounds in Indonesia, once again, are very fertile for South Korean food establishments. Now, so yes, back to your question. Do you think that opportunities for Korean food are emerging? Have my question been answered?
Yes, more enough. I thought you're a chef, but now I didn't know you're economist.
You mentioned I'm running my own business. Yeah, so you're not, as an investor, you're not operating emotional. If you start putting money in, you want to know your ROI. You want to know where you're going.
That's right.
Yeah, if you just open because you say, hey, I want to open this, and that, very short-lived. Yeah, so you have to be thinking a little bit long-term, and long-term is all about money.
I can't agree more with you. Yes. So yeah, I see that it is very, I'm glad to hear the Petrus and the Dieter, they confirm there are plenty of opportunity and the market growth rate. And Dieter, you haven't still mentioned about the challenges. And
Okay, that was your next question.
next questions as well. Now it sounds like a very rosy, and we know that due to thanks to the K-pop artist as well as K-drama, and we know that the people's appetite for or desire for Korean food is growing, and also the figures and the statistics that shared by Dieter also does confirm that yes, the market opportunities lies there. And now, so what now? Include myself, I also want to start my own Korean food business here. Likewise, all the audience present here today. So, what kind of challenges from the new entrant or entrepreneur's point of view to keep in mind, Dieter?
There are a few challenges. First, we have to distinguish between franchise and investor. If you buy a franchise, we're not talking about franchise today. Yes, if there are Indonesian interested in obtaining a franchise, Petrus and me, we will facilitate the connection. But after this, we step back. The data, like I said here, 2,537 Korean restaurants operating in Indonesia, but they're all owned by South Korean. Why is it that there is no Indonesian operating a South Korean restaurant? Because they don't know. Like me, by education, I'm a pastry chef, I'm a baker. I have obtained more than 30 years experience acting as a pastry chef, 5-star hotels, traveling the world. So I'm covered. So I'm opening my own cafe, core product, cake, pastry. I'm covered. I don't need anybody telling me anything. But how about those investors who doesn't want to get involved in production, who doesn't want to get involved into operation? That is where we come in. Yeah, so that means Petrus and me, we provide manuals, space requirement, equipment requirement, recipe, source of ingredients, where to obtain ingredients. We have to give cooking classes and so forth. Yeah, so what the investor is buying is a total manual, including standard operational procedure, for various concepts. Now, those audience, listen, South Korea is not all about kimchi. Yes, kimchi is very healthy. And all the other pickles from South Korea, very healthy. But Indonesia doesn't like spicy and sour. Those who do like spicy and sour, it's a very small niche market. Yeah, so challenge number 1. Challenge number 2, halal. If you go to the main market, you have to be halal certified. Yeah, and that is what we are focusing on. Yes, if you want to open in Bali, if you want to open in Papua, if you want to go to Sulawesi, Manado, halal may not be really needed, but Sumatra, Kalimantan, Java, most parts of Sulawesi, without halal certification, main market, you are dead before you even opened. Now, this is all what Petros and me are considering. In addition, maybe the cost of a full-scale Korean restaurant may be something between 8 to 12 billion rupiah to start with. So not every investor have that money to put in. So we also have concept like if you want to make a ramen warung, Korean style, we are catering to that. If you want to make a Korean bakery, if you want to make a Korean pastry, we are catering to that with all the consideration I just mentioned. Yeah, John, is your question answered?
Yeah, thank you. I think if just two, not too bad. But I think you have not too bad. But I believe, of course, given the time restriction, I think that there are much more aspects.
There is, and I keep it already as short as possible because I see the big clock over there. We're already off time. Yeah, so that's why I just share the essential. So all of you treat us as a teaser. There is more to it. And Petros and me, we have it covered.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think that, yeah, you have underlined the key to, or the major two challenges that all, I think, not just Korean food business entrepreneurs, but also local or international entrepreneurs need to keep in mind when they run a F&B business in Indonesia. Okay, before I go to with another question to Petrus, let me ask. Let's hear a little bit from the audience and ask them. They may have some questions, or they also may have some to ask. So, and also they probably have some food they like to launch or bring into Indonesia. So let's talk to a little bit of to our audience today. Okay, Sajai, maybe shall we just keep our screen on and see who we are and where you guys are from, just roughly? And don't be shy. This is again casual, very casual online meeting, and you have two experts here. You can ask any questions today. We have only 10 minutes to go. Roy, Priska, and Desiani. I know Sejai, maybe which country are you from? And also Yenny is over there. Would you say hello to everyone, and then maybe you can share with a little bit about your story.
Hi, Suzanne. I think you're a little bit on mute.
Yes, was just close. Sorry, I'm from Turkey, in the west, in Muğla and in Fethiye. My job is a cook. 25 years in the kitchen. Sometimes I eat in Korean food. I like it, but halal food sometimes. Fine, it's sauce.
Oh, okay. It's good to know that you are from Turkey. So, are you interested in Korean food, and also are you interested in opening your business in Indonesia as well?
Yeah, I like it, and people kitchens is fine. Very fast.
Okay, all
Fast
right.
eating is a fine time. Yeah.
Okay, great. Good to hear from you, Sejai from Turkey, and also thank you, Yenny.
Hi, Yenny.
Hello.
Okay.
So Yenny, are you from Indonesia?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm from Indonesia.
Okay. And do you have any specific Korean food you want to try out, or do you have any question to ask to our experts here today?
Um,
No, if you don't, it's okay. You can also chat on the group chat Indonesia, no bahasa Indonesia, no problem.
Or you
And
can
this,
speak, or you can
Okay,
speak
okay.
bahasa Indonesia, Ibu Yani, and then I will help you to translate it into English. It's my pleasure.
Oh, apa? Tertarik, sangat tertarik sih sama apa? Kayak jajanan Korea itu lagi trial juga sih, buat apa sih, kayak jualan odeng kayak di sekolah. Cuman aku lagi trial dulu aja, lagi apa, survei tempat mau jualan di mana gitu.
Oke.
Oke, thank you Pak Petrus
Sama-sama Bu Yani. Oke,
sudah.
ya sama-sama Bu Yani. Thank you untuk pertanyaan dan sudah hadir juga di sini. She said that she is now in the process of try to make the Korean street food style like odeng, and if she's successful, she want to sell it in the place where she used to offer the products for her business nowadays. I think that's the situation where, surprisingly, uh, many Indonesian people are actually quite interested with the Korean foods.
okay, great, thank you. So Yenny, and please stay again. This is not just about the Q&A session. So we are going to keep on stay connected, and then we just form a community. And if you have questions, besides Petrus, also and Dieter, we are happy to help us answer the questions. And I believe that the next question goes to Petrus. He's going to share with us.
Before Petrus,
Mhm.
during my survey, so starting a little bit about here in Indonesia, I came across that because of TV dramas, South Korean dramas, and South Korean soap operas, that actually the street food they featured in this TV series became very much for the interest of Indonesian people. They were curious about the street food. So it's not about South Korean restaurants, South Korean cafes. They were impressed with the street food they have seen, getting featured on TV.
Yep.
Yeah, so that is also part of our program. Yeah, we will offer.
Okay, great. I think so. Like Yenny said, that quite many Indonesian locals also glad to know that they like to start to offer or start their own Korean food business. While Dieter mentioned that so far mainly the Korean has opened around the Korean restaurant so far. All right. So maybe so now my question goes to Petrus, as Dieter touched a little bit earlier. So what kind of tips would you like to share with the local or international entrepreneurs or chef that wants to run the Korean food or launch Korean food in Indonesia?
Oh, okay. Okay, I would like to share some information about what is the market in Indonesia that started with the Korean style product. Okay. Okay, we share the. Okay. Let's see. I have to inform first that I visited Seoul for the first time in the year 2011. Okay, that's the situation, and that's for the first time I having a really, understand the Seoul situation, the street food and everything, and also the exhibition about the agriculture and everything. And this is the training that I got, and also the Indonesian group where I bring there for the bakery training in the very one of the famous bakery also in Seoul named Richmond. And this is the training with Indonesian group. And this is the restaurant in Jakarta, maybe one of deeper meaning about the Korean restaurant in Jakarta named Garosu Restaurant. You see that the restaurant situation is very quite luxury, and the way they arrange the product is so good. And also this is the other restaurant in Jakarta. And sorry, can see also in the middle of the bottom part is the bingsu, a Korean style of ice. And this is the Tulajur's bakery chain from South Korea, already opened in Jakarta 10 years ago. And this is the Indonesian style of pastry chef who start her business with the making a Korean style of covering the cake with the sugar, but the way she deliver the product is with the Korean style, named Sugar Bloom. And then this is the Korean food court owned by Korean in southern part of Jakarta. It's named Market Irum. It's a kind of food court where you can find some odeng, ramen, and everything there. It's like a Korean style food court. And this is the Paris Baguette, already open in Astra District, Jakarta. I think nowadays, since the beginning of the opening the shop last year, they already opened something like maybe 10 to 12 stores in Jakarta only. And this is the Indonesian young doctor that want to start opening the Korean style street food named Bunjopang. So he named his store with the BBS Bunjopang. BBS is the initial of his name. Okay. And this is the pastry shop owned by Korean pastry chef in Jakarta named Fragments. He opened it in one of the luxury mall in Jakarta. And so far, it's quite successful to get the market support or market response from the middle up market, because the way she serve is a pastry product, which is the high-end product. But for sure that even though he's Korean, the product that he offer to the audience is not the Korean style product. It's really Western style product with the Korean style ambient or Korean style interior design. I think that's all from me. So if I have to share the tips about the Korean product in Indonesia, I believe not all Indonesian are only looking for the full set meal of Korean product, Korean cuisine, but also the Korean odeng, the Korean fried chicken, or Korean pastry products is also one of the top list of the consideration for people to open the Korean style business culinary in Jakarta or in other city in Indonesia. That's all the tips from me, Joan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We actually have two questions from email so far for our speaker today. So the first one would be, Imam have a Korean restaurant in Indonesia. It's been 2 years and has 2 branches so far, all bootstrapped without investor. First question is, how can we scale up with the limitation of offline business, not like online, which can be scaled up quickly, using self-funded money, not from investor? And the second question, how to handle the saturation point when it can no longer be scaled up? Very interesting question. Thank you, Imam.
I think my simple question, you need to have your own SOP or manual, standard manual production. If you don't have that standard manual, you cannot duplicate or clone your business to other places. And then you have to get the good connection or the good relationship with the supplier of the raw materials and everything to make you sure that the supply material is on time as you requested them, and also the quality of the product is consistent from one place to the other place, from one time to the other time. I think that's the 2 things that you have to prepare. And then the last, the number 3 is the human resources, capability to handle, to serve the product to the customers. Because without the human capability to handle or to serve the market, then your product will be, declining and your customer will leave you. I think that's the 3 points that coming from me. Maybe Dieter can add more.
No, 100% with you.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, I think also there are quite interesting point about by the Roy is that there are still not many menus available in Indonesia. I prepared a slide to share with everyone because there again the major brands interestingly are not available in Indonesia yet. So I see again there are great room for growth. But however, our time is already have passed 4:40. So I like to suggest the following, and Anna, maybe let's before we are taking group photo and then share your contact. I would suggest Anna share your contact info so that we can also answer the questions after this session. I can see that a lot of people are really interested and have more questions here to continue. And so these are the contact info of two experts that we have invited today as a panelist, and Mr. Petrus and Mr. Dieter Spear. But again, I like to also announce with you that as again, the food is not just about taste. There are a lot of aspects that we have to keep in mind besides, and especially that Dieter and as well as Petrus mentioned, the manual for standardization. There are also legal consultation, also need a fundraising. You also need the food suppliers, and you also need some contract if you run, if you plan to franchisee or franchisor. And so with the K-FoodPioneer together with the BARECA, as well as Mr. Dieter Spears, who has a lot of experience in Indonesia, we are going to launch some Korean food incubation and support program together in next year in Jakarta. So please stay tuned. We are happy to reach out to you if you need our help. Okay, so it's already 4:45. I think it's time to wrap up. And Anna, over to you.
Yep, so thank you, Joanne. Below is the information to contact our speaker, and if you want to connect with our K-FoodPioneer team, here are our contact information. And we're very excited to announce that also next year we are launching more meetups, online and offline as well. In January, we're aiming to go Singapore and Thailand meetups. So please feel free to let us know what topics and the speakers you would like to see more from us. We would love to hear more from you. And we are launching meetup every third Wednesday of the month. And we're looking forward to seeing you there.